Yeah, my name's Zakashi, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a guide on the Ultra Space Time Rush Champions, which released yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday, today is the 23rd, yesterday was 22nd, and I'm gonna keep it 100. I have to keep it 100, 200, 1000 in this video, 1k straight up, because there's 30 battles in this event, and realistically you're not going to be able to use every single unit that I have unless you have every single unit, and I'm assuming a lot of you will not have every single unit that I have, and even then you might have units that I may not have, so you just have to utilize your general IQ. Hopefully you can use your initiative in some cases and actually just utilize characters that you have. So I'm going to give you, it's not general, but at the same time, know that, for example, if I used 3 units for Battle 1, you have to actually utilize them the same way that I did. And I feel like that would just be stupid. Because what if you don't clear the battle with those 3 units at the first time? Then you're going to have to use extra units on the second time, which will actually make you have less units than I would have. So you'd already be off course. And then adding on top of that, you might not have characters that I have, or you might have characters I don't have, so it could give you an easier time, but you're following my tutorial because I don't have characters you have. You get it? Like, I'm just giving multiple scenarios right now so you can give a feel of like how difficult it would be to actually give a strict tutorial on this. So it's gonna have a lot of leeway, but follow the general instructions that I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give the best instructions that I can. This video is going to be long, but it could have been way longer if I made it very specific, so be grateful that if this video is less than 20 minutes, I've hit my goal basically. Because even this gameplay here that you see at times full speed, it's 20 minutes long, but I just sped it up and we're already 2 minutes in right now, which is mad. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get to the tutorial. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. If this video helps you out, definitely press the subscribe button. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment. Besides from that, all my social media links are on the left. This is the YouTube channel, but we've got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure you check all of those out. The ice cream man's always going past while I'm recording, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's actually get into this. Alright, so boom. Getting straight into it, I'm going to give a general overview of everything that you need to keep consistent throughout the whole 30 battles of this rush, because it's actually very long. It took me like 3 hours, but I was chilling. I was actually chilling. I was taking my time. Do not use auto at any point in this rush. Trust me, you don't want to do that, because you will just waste the characters that you have. You will waste them. So for one, never use auto. You have to play every single time, because you're going to have the best chances of actually clearing and saving the characters that you have, so that you don't have a harder time once you get further and deeper into it, because you don't want to run out of characters and whatnot. So that's the first thing. The second piece of advice I'm going to give you is the fact that you have 30 battles. That's a long road. It's not the usual 10 like the Ultra Space Time Rush that we usually have that updates every like 15 days. 30 battles, bro. Like, that's going to take you a while, and it gets more difficult every single time. So you're going to want the most help that you can get. So definitely make sure to utilize everything that they give you. Now, for some of the battles, they give literally strategy tips. I don't know why you wouldn't take it. Like, they always tell you, oh, there might be some boost units. Use the boost units. Even the heroes and extremes, use the boost units. Definitely utilize them. If it gives you, oh, I don't know, extreme characters have 100% more damage inflicted. That's going to help you a lot. So do not sleep on that advice. Now, this next one I might give you might kind of contradict the last point, but hear me out. Now, what I did just as a tester, and it worked out very well, perfectly. When I say I didn't even have to use, like, who didn't I use? I didn't use the yellow Vegito. I don't think I used Trunks Rage once. Like, I've missed out lots of OP characters just because I overestimated the event. But for some of you, then it would work out very well. But what I did was, I didn't use any Sparkins up until like battle 10 or 15. Now, this is going to be very irritating because the extremes don't do a lot of damage, and they can also not take a lot of damage. However, in certain battles, they do actually get a boost, but generally lots of extremes are actually decent against computers in comparison to the Sparkins that you have. Now, in PvP, it's a no-brainer not to use any extremes, but these are computers we're facing, so you can actually be very like what's the word I'm looking for? You can just be, you're more intelligent than a computer basically. They work very robotic, but you can actually have like the intelligence to change out your movements, and you know how they move because they keep a strict pattern. So more time, you're gonna have the advantage. That's why I advise that you use your extremes. I'd even use Shallot. Even in some scenarios, I'm gonna use heroes, but I'm gonna explain that later on. Last bit of advice I'm gonna give you is that for every battle, each challenge just says defeat all opponents. It's not like the Ultra Space Time Rush where you have to use a certain character or color or type. It doesn't matter who you use. So never quit a battle. If you've got units, even if they're bad and if they're doing little damage, you brought them out, make sure to utilize them for the full time accounts. That might feel like a waste of time, but take your time, be patient. Like, you actually can take your time, utilize every unit that you bring out. Do not put them to waste, because you bringing them out, you've got 180 seconds to do as much damage as you can. And even if they're bad, even if they get washed in a couple seconds, just do the most damage that you can. Do not bring them out and just put them to waste. I'm going to give you a method that I was using in the PvP battle, in the Ultra Space Time Rush Champions battle generally. But besides from that, just make sure you keep them in. Don't quit because they're doing little damage, because once you quit, you can't use them again. And you're going to run out of units if you keep doing that. So definitely just utilize them even if they're taking damage. You can't restart either. So you got to keep pushing. Alright, so we're 6 minutes in and I got a lot more talking to do. Like, this video is going to be very long, I told you already. But for these next gameplays, I'm going to be speeding up the gameplay to times full speed. But when I do the team formation and I get the rewards, it's going to be times... No, it's going to be normal speed. I don't know why I said times. So like, times 0. I don't know. No, because that would be 0. Then it wouldn't move. Times 1. I'm bugging out. But yeah, so for the attack strategy I generally use, I'm going to put notes on the screen. There's been notes on the screen this whole video. But what I generally use for all my tutorials, I generally advise that you play defensive against computers, because computers, they're literally AI. They work perfectly, like a straight linear line. They know what you're going to do. They know how to defend against you. They know how to attack against you. If you do a certain thing, they know how to counter it. It's just whether they want to at the time. So you have to play very defensive and play according to them. It does kill time account sometimes, but it's the best option you've got, honestly. So what I tend to do is I always wait for the vanish step, switch out and attack. The one thing the computer doesn't always do is switch out often as a normal person. So if you just vanish step and then switch out and attack, after you attack, you can actually vanish step afterwards, because usually they attack quite delayed on purpose. Like, it's just the way they work. So you can always get an opening there and get a full combo in. So what I advise doing is, depending on what unit is going to start, for example, say a green unit is going to start, you're running I don't know, a purple unit, a blue unit and a red unit. I would start with the blue unit because it has type disadvantage, do the vanish step and then switch out to the purple unit so you can have type advantage from then and get a whole combo off. You could probably get 2 off, because if you don't even get the vanish step afterwards when they try to attack you, you don't use it, then you can utilize it when they attack second time, and if you possibly get a perfect vanish, then that's good for attacking. And you can literally repeat that the whole battle, just utilize, like, just hitting the enemy hard as hell, doing as much damage as you can. Literally utilize your main abilities effectively. If there's unique abilities, definitely utilize them well. But that's mainly for the attack strategy. I'm going to give you a few more tips on generally attacking now. In some cases, characters will have like specific unique abilities, you know, the ones that are annoying. For example, let's take Sin Shenron. He has the revival function. Full Power Frieza has the revival function. You got to play very carefully with those, and depending on what unit you've got to bring out, it will actually give you an easier time. Not just doing general damage, but some units generally regenerate health, and you don't want to have them regenerate health, because you could be stuck on the same mission for like 20 battles just off the fact that the unit is regenerating health through their main ability. So you have to move aggressive sometimes. So what I advise doing is generally Rise and Rush units that can regenerate health. For example, LF Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he appears in one of the battles. If you see him, you want to get him out the way, because that main ability is going to regen a lot of health. And because of that, you could literally be stuck on that battle for a long time if you don't get him out the way sooner than later. So definitely go for him first out of anybody else on the battlefield if you're going for those Rising Rushes. Other advice I could give, I did say use extremes up until like battle 10. I believe that's when they become like level 5000. But before then, just stick on the extremes. After then, if you're struggling, I'd suggest using some Sparkins. I want to give a specific technique that I was using a lot. Say you was using 3 extremes and you didn't finish the battle, you don't want to bring 3 more extremes. You don't need to do that. You could probably clear it, bring in 1 or 2, or even then you could go for some heroes. Now you're probably up until this video thinking, oh, my extremes are not soul boosted, my heroes are not soul boosted. Well, that's what the events are for, like the adventure grinds, the Yamcha event we previously had. Also, I don't know why you guys are in a rush. Like, literally, I know you want your chrono crystals, but the banners are not leaving, like, if you don't complete it today. So whatever you want from this event, take your time, soul boost the extreme units, the hero units. You don't do the event multiple times. You can clear it in one go if you take your time and soul boost everybody and utilize your extremes. My extremes are soul boosted, not all of them. I actually had to go through and soul boost a lot of them. So like, just think about it. Like, you don't need to try hard with extremes that are not soul boosted. Take your time, get the resources, soul boost them, and then try again. That's the best way. I don't advise going in with non-soul boosted extremes. If they're soul boosted, you just have a much easier time. If they're leveled up, you'd have a much easier time. Take your time to level them up. The event doesn't even have an expiration date on it at the moment, so you can know it's going to be there for quite a while, like as of now anyways. So keep in mind of that. That's very important, what I just mentioned. I might kind of be rambling on here, but the gameplays, they're like every 5 battles. I didn't mention that before, I don't think so. Battle 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Once I got to 25, I did 26, 27, 28, and 29, and 30, because they're the most difficult. But something you can actually utilize on top of using extremes, if you're really struggling, you can bring out some bad sparkings. So there's horrible sparkings that are probably way worse than a lot of extremes. For example, the yellow Gohan, not the Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2 transforming one. I'm talking about the kid, like that was there early in the game. He's bad. If you haven't Zenkai awakened Super Saiyan Trunks, he's bad. Trunks Youth, if you haven't Zenkai awakened him, he's bad. Like, those units there, they're horrible units in general, but for this Ultra Space Time Rush Champions, you actually have a good time using them, because they're actually better than a lot of the extremes. There are some extremes that are better than these characters, like I mentioned. For example, let's take EX Gogeta, EX Hit, EX Whis. They're very bad units, but not very bad units. They're very good units and better than a lot of sparking. So bear that in mind as well. Who else is personally not a good unit? Sin Shenron. I brought him out early. Sparking Kaba. You can use some of these bad sparkings if you're having a hard time. Like, I'm trying to say that you should really use your extremes, because you're going to want the sparkings later, trust me. Like, in this battle right here, I have Buhan. Buhan literally carried. When I say he carried so hard in this battle. I didn't even win, but the amount of damage and the way he moved, he's an amazing unit. And if you use him too early, trust me, you're going to regret it. In my case, I had a lot of units to spare, because I actually went to like battle 15 or 20 using extremes. But I say you can use extremes up until battle 10 or 15. Especially if they're soul boosted, you'd have a good time. Like right here, look, it's Buhan 3v1 right now, and he's hanging. He's hanging heavy. So think about it when you're thinking about bringing out these sparkings. One unit I didn't use was Shallot. Shallot's a very good unit. I just literally slept on him. I don't know why I didn't use him. But make sure you utilize him at the right time. But like I said, about battle 10, 15, from there you should definitely start bringing out sparkings, preferably the bad ones. And I don't advise bringing out sparkings any earlier than that. Besides from that, I don't think I have anything else to pretty much say. Few cheese techniques. Rise and rushes are more powerful than you think, and I wouldn't always combine a lot of OP units together, because you won't get the most out of them. For example, if I'm gonna bring Vegito Blue, I'm not gonna bring Omega Shenron and Merge Zamasu, for example, because Vegito Blue can handle it. Unless there's a green, then I might bring a good purple, but even then, Merge Zamasu is too OP. I could probably settle for, like, I don't know, Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, maybe Goten. Like, I could settle a bit more when I have one OP unit, so you don't want to waste a lot of OP units in one bunch. That's something I could actually give you as advice as well. Besides from that, like, literally all I can do is apologize, because I was I'm telling you, there's no way in hell I was going through every single battle and giving you a team verbatim what you should use, because I feel like it's just inevitable that you're not going to have the same outcomes as me. So that's all I can do about that. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say, honestly. Or I just punched my mic there. That's pretty much all I've got to say, honestly. All I can do is wish you the best of luck. Make sure you take your time and soul boost and level your units. That's the priority right there. Once you do that, you'll be fine. Like literally, the extremes are really good, and these are computers you're playing against. So bear that in mind. Sometimes they might do some OP stuff, like some dumb OP stuff. Like I think Shugesh and Borgos, they were insane. Like they literally one-shot me. So I just had to be a bit more careful. Some units that you feel aren't good, you might be underestimating them. Like Andrea 21, I messed with her heavy. But what I'm gonna do is, considering these are like the last battles, battle 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30, I'm gonna let them play out so you can actually see what I did. They're still gonna be at times full speed, because then it will end about 21 minutes, I believe it was. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you took something away. Hopefully I helped you out. I know it was a bit general, but honestly, these are my tips and it's what worked for me. So it should work for you guys if you follow the instructions as I gave and the tips I gave. Make sure to look out for the boost units, just the little things I gotta re-mention. Yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment. I'm definitely gonna reply to comments. I feel like a lot of people are gonna have questions about this one and definitely struggle on certain ones. Besides from that, if you want to get to me, the social media links, they're all on the left right there. Like I said, this is the YouTube channel, but we got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and the Discord link all in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter and Discord, so preferably the Discord, message me. I'll get to you there. But yeah, besides from that, like I said, I'm gonna let the gameplay play out to battle 30. If you want to stay and watch the rest of the gameplay, you can. My name's Zakashi, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I would do his rapture.
Now, really bad.